Well, YouTube, it's been a while. 2021 was quite an eventful year. Had to rent a car for the first 2 rounds, and then Gonzo got pretty sick. He ended up with cancer, so I had to sort of take care of him and didn't do the following 2 rounds, but we are ready for 2022. The E46 behind me here is 99% ready at this point. Just got off the dyno on Sunday. The car did great. We put down 715 horsepower and 800 foot-pounds of torque out of the Comp Cam's RHS Magnuson Supercharged 427 we got here. Everything did well. The car performed great. The new Link ECU setup is doing awesome. The brakes weren't properly bled. I noticed that when I pulled into the trailer, so we bled the brakes proper last night with the help of Jeff Jones. And one last thing I got to get right here is to get this center register proper on my rotors. I had it proper, and then I ended up having to space the rotor 5 millimeters out, and the hub, as it comes out, steps down to smaller sizes. So I actually need to get a new rotor hat and cut that down to a smaller size, or get a shorter rotor hat that is, so I won't have to run that 5 millimeter spacer behind the rotor. We'll see where we get with that. I'm actually been on the horn with Willwood all day today, and I will be tomorrow to try and figure that out. Hopefully I can go pick something up. But the car is looking great. So I'm just kind of want to take you guys through it and show you the changes and the new cool stuff that I've done to this thing. Seat's out right now. I was setting up the master cylinders, getting the brake bias proper under there, so I had to sort of finagle myself under the dash. Yeah, this car is gonna be good, guys. Same sort of front end setup, SLR up front here, and we're moving to field suspension this year. Just seems to be the best stuff on the market, and Odie's always there at all the events, so it's nice to have that sort of keeping it in the family, I guess, within the drift community. PBM front, there's a lot of PBM goodies on the car, but PBM front sway bar for now. I might change that out to a torsion style sway bar in the future, like I had on the E30. We'll see. I don't know if that's going to be stiff enough. I've robbed a lot of parts off the E30 for this car. I mean, the engine is the same, the drive shaft even is the same. The drive shaft ended up fitting, which is kind of interesting because the E30 is it's, I don't know the overall length, but I know that the wheelbase is about 3.8 inches, I believe, shorter, maybe even more, maybe around 4 inches shorter. So that means that the engine in this car, the whole drivetrain is essentially, it's the same distance from the end of the transmission to the differential. Everything's just pushed back further in the car, because as you can see, we have a ton of room for activities up here in the front end, and we did not have that on the E30. Pretty cool. We're moving to stop tech brakes this year. My buddy Tyler hooked me up over there, and those are looking awesome. I can't wait to try them out. I got a zip tie I need to cut into there, I just noticed. The electronics on the car are way more updated than what I had on the E30 by a long shot. I mean, the E30 was basically late 90s, early 2000s technology, still running relays, no PDM, no CAN bus system anywhere, nothing. So on this setup, we have an ECU Masters PDM and switchboard that you see there, and then the Link ECU, what is it, Extreme, that we're running. And I had Wolf Motorsport wire it up. That's Aaron Parker up there in Lancaster. He did an excellent job, and he got the job done very quickly. I was really impressed, especially compared to my old wiring guy that took like 6 months to wire the E30. That didn't allow me to make my 2014 season. So everything's great on this car. StimTech handbrake, going to the vertical handbrake now. I tried that out on that S14 in Florida and in Jersey, and I kind of liked it. So we're going with that setup. Got a super cool shift knob on here. This is from Built by Basil. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Built by Basil, I guess you pronounce it. But that's made of old skateboards, which is really freaking cool because it kind of combines all the things that I've been passionate about in my life, which is skateboarding back when I was younger and building things when I was even younger than that. I started with Legos when I was a really young kid, and still building stuff and still skateboarding, and now I'm racing cars, and now I have old skateboards as my shift knob, so pretty cool stuff. Safecraft fire suppression system. I put the dry sump enclosure basically in the same spot as the E30. The E30 was a little further back because on this car, if you notice, I moved the fuel cell up and sort of basically right in between the shock towers there. So it's sitting above the diff. Can't really see it right now. We can kind of sneak a peek at it from back here, I think. You can kind of see it up in there. I don't know, it's kind of dark without all the light. So fuel cell is right up there. Radiator and ducting are directly behind that. Made myself a nice little duct here and a nice little trim panel to cover it. The back, sort of the same coolant setup as we had, you know, nice high expansion tank. We've got our oil catch can here, our diff catch can here, our water catch can. Made this little fueling guy to get to be able to fill it from outside of the car. I cut a hole in the trunk lid and everything that sits flush with the top of the trunk, so we don't have to take the trunk off to fuel up anymore like we did in the E30. Rear sway bar is kind of interesting. I had to put it pretty far back because we need space between the diff and that bar, so I can pull off the cover and all that. I could have gone a few inches more forward, but sort of ended up where it ended up. And I had to make these super long arms to make it work, and I didn't feel like getting my guy next door to TIG weld them, so I busted out the aluminum MIG welder and made it happen. Quick change from RTS, subframe from RTS, PVM arms back here. The axles, I did some interesting stuff. These hubs right here are actually Chrysler Sebring hubs, so they are 33 spline, so they accept a Porsche stub axle. So this is a 930 Porsche stub axle, and then on the other side it's all 930 stuff. So on the inside of the quick change and on the outside here, if you notice, it bolts up to the stub axle itself. So if I want to change an axle, if I break a shaft or I break a CV, I just pull this off. I don't have to pound this thing out. I don't have to take that guy out at all. If I break this, all I have to do is replace the stub axle itself. I don't have to replace the entire axle in both CVs. It just doesn't make any sense to be doing that. So got the axles from CarTech, got the CVs from some VW manufacturer, as well as the stubs, and we cut the Chrysler Sebring hubs down to fit the E46 wheel bearing. Got them pressed in there, made everything work. Oh, these are also 5x114, so I can run whatever cool wheels I want. Yeah, everything worked out here. This is a Power by Max kit right here, the S14 caliper on there. Pretty neat, nice CNC machine parts. Got Power by Max subframe bushings as well under there. Those gold boys. Just picked up sponsorship from Anti-Gravity Batteries. So we've got these super light anti-gravity batteries in here. We dropped 57 pounds off of the rear of the car by adding those. So that was definitely a good move. I have these big heavy Optimas over here sitting on the floor doing nothing now. Steel suspension in the back. We got the Power by Max brace on there that is FD legal. The radiator fan is a Lincoln Mark 8 radiator fan. It's super powerful, and I've seen a lot of FD teams using it. It's almost, it is better than anything else on the market, you know, any aftermarket fans you can find. So fan seems to be working well. The car, the heat and the temperatures, everything went well on the dyno. So I am expecting it to do well on the track, but it's also ambient cold temperatures these days because it is winter. So we're definitely going to see some increases there. Intake air temps I'm a little worried about, so I'm probably going to upgrade the supercharger water pump eventually here. I was going to try and do that today actually, and this old CSR water pump over here that I have on the floor that has been sitting on my shelf for, I don't know, 7-8 years. This guy, he's not working anymore. So something internal has failed. It's not pulling any water in or anything. You can hear it spinning, and it's definitely turning, but it's not pulling any water, even when you prime it and everything. So got to figure that part out. And yeah, other than that, she's looking good. I'm gonna get the rotor thing figured out and go do a test day at Willow, and bring her back, do a nut and bolt check, and probably take it to go get vinyl wrapped after that. We got a pretty cool livery going on the car, the same sort of wild, random 80s synthwave style livery that we had on the E30. Oh, there's a little bit of it on the E30 bumper right there. So yeah, moving along, getting there. Took a while. I started the car basically February 1st of last year, and it is February 1st today, so it has been pretty much exactly 1 year to the point that I really started to dig in this car and put in the long work hours. Put in a lot of work the first, I'd say 3-4 months of this thing, because I thought I was going to be making it to my 2022 or 2021 season with it, but had some issues getting the engine done. That ended up taking 9 months to get the engine back, and the car just kind of sat over there for a while, and I got some customers' cars knocked out, and then when my engine was done, got it all together, and here we are. So I guess that's that. I'm expecting good things from this car. I hope it all works out, and we'll see how she does at the track. Let's check out some dyno videos real quick, and I'll leave you guys with that. And my bad for not posting any videos. Just I haven't been doing much, you know. The car sat for a really long time. I was working on customer cars, and when I started to really grind on the car in the beginning, I did not have time to film. I only had I think 3 months before our first event, and I had a lot to do, so I just didn't have time to be filming and editing. And yeah, I'm sorry about that. And when Gonzo got sick, I just sort of took care of him and gave up on drifting for the rest of the year. And he's doing a lot better, so we're gonna do some traveling again. Get out to Florida, get out to Jersey this year, get out to St. Louis, get out to Utah, and see how we end up in points. Hopefully we can move on to Pro 1 this year. That'd be really nice, because I believe this car is ready, short of a Pro 1 tire size, to be honest. So yeah, thanks for hanging in there, guys. We'll be back soon. Let's check out some dyno stuff. Later.